The fact that you're the guy on all those pictures is probably why we don't get more traction.
Huh?
The fact that you're the only face on that YouTube deal is probably why we don't get more traction.
Probably. Well, the reason we have 66 and instead of 0,
Right.
Zeto.
Hello, YouTubers. Our best listeners check in on YouTube first. Then they know what's going on the backside.
College football calamity, Chicago lives matter, White House lockdown, all that and more coming up in today's Wade and Carter Show.
Calamity. I like calamity.
Alliteration, college football calamity.
I like it. Dun, 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 dun. Every day, people, this is what we do.
Rule number 2. Oh, there is no rule number 2.
That's it.
Hey, good morning.
Man, that was a great intro right there.
That's pretty good for a Tuesday.
Boy, yeah, how'd you do?
How are you?
How do you make this mic a little better? Like, is that it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I like that. That's better. Watch this. What's I'm going to do for you? Say something.
I don't need it. We're good.
Oh, no. There
Already
you go.
checked it.
There you are.
All right. Let's do this.
Wade and Carter Weather brought to you by one of the great businesses of Victoria. Deerland Feed Store is kind of a same as it ever was throwback because they got it right the first time. When you go there, you'll find what you need for your farm and ranch needs. You'll find really fine quality pet feeds. You'll find some little baby guinea chicks. You'll find War Maker knives, saddles, tack, pet supplies,
Bulk pet treats.
napalm. There's some RPGs in the back. Whatever you need to outfit your ranch. Like on High Chaparral. No, they don't have guns and ammo, do they?
I don't think so.
No.
Didn't
But
see
they've
it.
got stuff like Venom and Viper and Weed Killer
I'm
Extraordinary.
going to have to swing by there and then get a backpack
Yes.
sprayer.
You told me you needed a backpack sprayer.
So
Very
We'll
cool.
do that.
Deerland Feed, wonderful spot. It's kind of is it fair to say it's the modern age of farm and ranch supplies, but it's kind of like a trip down memory lane.
Well, there's a historical plaque on the building. You
Was
can
an
read
old
about it. It was
cotton
an old
gin.
cotton gin, yeah. A lot of history
Wonderful
of that
spot.
building and location. Right there on Water Street across from the convent. So
Well,
easy to find.
They want you to know that it's 79 degrees in Victoria this morning, heading to a high today of 97 under mostly sunny skies. Those patchy clouds we had yesterday, but no rain. No rain in the forecast today. It's going to be hot. It's going to be humid.
I don't think we're going to see any rain for another
Right, till next week.
next week. So 7 days, something like that, before we even sniff a little bit of rain.
There you go. It's a really in-depth, 79 to 97. Kind of an in-depth weather report. But Deerland is a fun place to go.
Yeah,
And
it reminds me of the old school hardware stores that you used to go to as a
They
kid
don't
that had a little
exist
bit of everything.
anymore.
Yeah,
They don't. Everything's
No, they
like a Lowe's now.
Yeah.
But when you go there, like I would have said before we started going down, I would have said, well, I don't have any reason to be at a feed store. But then when you go, you're like, you know what? I need some of that.
yeah.
I need a cattle prod.
It's not just a feed store.
Good morning, Amanda Blaschke.
First in, nothing winning.
She's a champion. She's
Yeah.
back at school this week.
Matt Boucher, good morning. Scott Snow, Robin Moore Knipling, H.R. Mallory.
Hello,
We
Robin.
don't do this, but if we did,
Oh, it was yesterday,
yeah,
wasn't it?
we maybe would.
We would have mentioned Rob's birthday.
Yeah, but we
HR's
don't.
our guy.
So
Super guy, military
yeah,
veteran,
if we did, we'd wish him a belated happy birthday.
state trooper. He's awesome. Super good friend. HR Mallory, great guy.
Karen Webb checking in. Chris Conrad, good morning.
A top fan among top fans.
All our top fans are in.
There you go.
How about my New York Rangers getting the first pick in the NHL draft?
Nobody noticed it. They were that bad.
Well, they were that bad. Then they had a lottery of, they put
The bad teams. They got
in the
more
ping
balls than
pong.
anybody.
Just one. Everybody had the same odds.
Interesting.
And well,
Don't they weight it? Isn't that racist to not
and-
weight it?
Well, already the conspirators were already out there. That ball was lighter than the rest,
Oh my!
so it could get up there easier.
Might have been.
What I like though, watching the video, and people were posting this on Twitter just to bug Toronto Maple Leafs fans. The Toronto ball was going up, and the Rangers ball kind of knocked it out of the way and
Took it into the boards.
Yeah, and ended up the shoot.
That would be great to do like a slow motion replay of how. That's pretty funny, actually.
Yeah. Someone did on Twitter.
See, that's something we would do.
I saw Zach Boychuk, who's an NHL player.
Anybody with the name Czech in their name.
Boychuk.
Okay, sorry,
Canadian.
Sorry.
He had posted the video. I don't know if he was responsible for the video, but he was tweeting it. So.
T-Lat says she's in at straight up 7. So good morning, sweet girl.
Scott Tomko, good morning. Marvin Micker, CW Bean, Christina Wise, Bobby Leister, good morning. Scott Tomko, yeah, we are back to normal. Interestingly enough, we found the piece of equipment that we need.
What are the odds on that? You wonder why things happen, because yesterday Ash came in and there's a little piece of equipment that goes directly from the board to the iPad, and it allows you to hear literally stereo sound straight through the radio feed.
Phone calls when we get them.
Instead of using the microphone on the iPad, which is you hear it like it's in a well across the room, you hear it straight from the microphone. What's interesting is
you and I tore this place apart looking for it yesterday.
I was looking in the box during the deal. We went underneath, and it's almost like it somehow reappeared behind the computer. At the end of the show, we put up the banner. We were putting up the computer, and Ash goes, "Here it is." I go, "What?" He goes,
it was laying on the desk. Right, it was laying on the table right behind the laptop. It was not there.
Now, do you have this problem at your house? Because if Dawn would have been here, I would have looked for 30 minutes, and then Dawn would have gone, is this what you're looking for? Does that happen at your house? Is Cheryl one that always finds the stuff you can't find?
No, I don't misplace a lot of stuff. Well, if it's misplaced, it's in the shop, and she doesn't go in there.
There you go.
I've created my own mess out there.
When you misplace that cat and find it inside a cooler. The comfortable spot inside the Yeti. That cat was like, wow. That cat wanted out of there, didn't it?
4 of its 9 lives were spent in that ice
Folks,
chest.
You know that a cat is upset when it's stuck in a cooler long enough that it poops in the cooler while it's in there.
It was ready to be
that
done.
Cat was done.
Had no place to bury it. Yeah.
That cat was done.
David Glass, good morning. Judge Posey.
What'd you do? Just kind of rinse that cooler out and go on?
Yeah, that's all you should do. I washed it pretty good. The Iceman is in.
It's all business today, baby. You're right.
I didn't see the Iceman come in yesterday. I don't know if he was mad at us.
No, he was on the road.
Okay.
Miranda Tunches. That sounds like Miranda Tunches sounds like some kind of law, like in Panama. No. I'm going to invoke my Miranda Tunches. Or it could be a dish somewhere, like in Barbados. I'd like the Miranda Tunches with a side of queso, please.
There you go.
That could be good. Names get me, and most of the names that you know, they usually have like a Vic or a Czech or a ski at the end. An in Putin.
Ron Sitka, good morning to you. Hit him straight today, Ron. Dave Garza checking in. Brad Miner. Welcome back, Brad. It's been a while.
Brad. Hey, you think that's boring that Ron Sitka wakes up every day just wondering, do I want to play the blue or black tees today?
Be nice to be able to make that decision.
It's not that boring.
No, not at all.
He looks great.
Is he looking forward to playing the silver tees?
No, he's not. He's in way too good a shape. And the gentleman has retired. He's retired several times. Don't worry, he's got another career left in him. He'll get drugged back out because people want him to run their companies.
No, he'll do something, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Brent Anderson, good morning to you. Jimbo Slice is in. Patrick Strauss, Sky Sanchez.
Jimbo Slices, he needs some
RPGs.
He needs some more RPGs. It was hard getting those things home from the Middle East. What is Sky? Is she being cordial and polite?
No, she says she saw you at TJ Maxx, wanted to say hi, but saw you were on a mission.
Why didn't you need to get over and say hi?
Sheriff Louderback checking in. Good morning to you. Philip Barone, Greg Garcia. Lisa Poole, Big Boy Smith is in. Monica Jost, Bob Watley. Man, this is
What a great crowd.
Steve Kidder. Got to be a few more up here before we get rolling into the show.
Steve Kidder says Miranda is a dish. See, that's a little pun based on the aside of queso. You get it?
I got it.
Steve Kidder's an exceptionally bright young man. The problem is.
Oh, do you know a different Steve Kidder?
No, the problem. Well, he's an exceptionally bright middle-aged man. Yeah. The thing is, if your humor is so subtle that it goes over everybody's head, is it funny? He's like ahead of his time. He's the one that has friends that 2 minutes after he leaves, they go, I get it, because they didn't get it at the time he told them. We just happen to work in real time.
Chris Conrad says, big crowds, boys, no pressure. None at all today.
Yeah, no, we're so blessed to have the crowd that we've got with you guys. It's funny tomorrow. Steve Kidder says, I'm funny tomorrow.
You'll get it.
The crowd we have here every day is a blessing to us and a tribute to Victoria, because you people go out and you tell people the way you feel about things, and it helps our city a lot.
And a lot of people listen that we don't even mention because they don't want to know people.
They don't want people to know
they're
associated with us. And I understand that. Although over time, make a note. I've made a note. I know who you are. And someday you're going to go, I used to listen to y'all way back when. I'll go, depart from me. I never knew you.
Is that what the rest of the Big 12 is going to say? Or is that what Texas and OU were going to say?
Yeah, man, the rumors are flying, folks. And I know that a lot of you don't care about college football. And then the rest of you don't really care about what we talk about.
Patrick Strauss says he came over and said hi to you in HEB, but he called you Wade.
Yeah, he did, and that was fine. He said, hey, it's Wade, right? I'm going to have Carter. Yeah, right there in the cold sausage section. I remember, Patrick. That's fine. Right there.
Bacon and sausage.
Patrick was over there fondling the Jimmy Dean. Didn't buy it, just wanted to squeeze it a little bit and put it back on the shelf.
That's how you know it's fresh.
Yeah. So here's what's going on. You've got the Big Ten they floated out there that they're not going to play football. And they haven't officially taken a vote, but they're saying they're not going to play.
Dan Patrick reported it. Yeah. I mean, it was this is not
Lieutenant Governor.
Maybe it was
this is the real one.
Maybe it was a straw poll.
No, but they said, not going to do it. We're not going to play.
Well, then they walked it back a bit and said, well, we're going to meet tomorrow, which is today, and they're going to vote on it this morning.
And we will see what happens.
Pac-12 also rumored to be picking up their football and going home.
Pac-12, like you said, though, with the travel restrictions and the issues involved with just being on the left coast, they have a problem. They're not going to probably play. And I get that. And maybe it's for the best because they've got some issues out there. But the SEC says, we got no place else to go. It reminds you of an officer and a gentleman. Mayo. Ring the bell. D-O-R, Mayo. I ain't got no place else to go. The SEC's got nothing else to do. Beer sales would plummet.
True.
In the entire Southeast.
Maybe that was the reason that the president slapped an aluminum tariff on Canada.
Brought to you by Budweiser.
Got to make that revenue back.
No kidding, though. The SEC says we're going to play. And not only that, see, everybody, and I don't know why, I think because LSU looked at it as an easy win. LSU really wanted a rematch with Texas. And the reality is the coach, Obregon, is that his name?
Yeah.
I like that guy. Anybody with a worse voice than me, I like, go Tigers. I mean, that guy, I like that guy.
That's every answer to every question.
Go Tigers, go Tigers. So that guy says, I want Texas.
You can do it.
Go Tigers. I want Texas again. And Texas fans were fired up about it, looking forward to playing LSU. And then football or COVID got in the way. Well, now the SEC is saying we may pluck off a couple of Big Ten schools that want to play, and we'll get Texas and OU, and let's just kind of do our own league for this year. And, boy, I think the NCAA is going to be scrambling because that would be wildly popular. Don't let these schools start negotiating their own TV deals with NBC on a Saturday morning.
I wonder the legalities of all that, with all the TV deals,
it's a
conference affiliations.
So Texas says, fine, we'll give a percentage of our money back to the Big 12. The bottom line is you might see schools say, if the SEC alone said, we're going to jettison ourselves from the NCAA, we're at DEFCON 4. I mean, it'd be crazy.
Well, I think as long as I've been in college athletics and even long before that, there had been rumors of a split or a fourth division in the NCAA. And there had been talk at conferences I've gone to where the Power Five conferences, all the commissioners of the Power Five met on Sunday night. So that's your ACC, Big 12, Big 10, SEC, Pac-12. Those are your Power Five conferences.
Right.
All your big football conferences and typically your big basketball playing conferences as well. But here's what people don't understand. The NCAA does not control college football like they do all the other sports. College football controls college football. That's why there's a playoff. It's not, you're the national champion, but it's not an NCAA governed championship.
Like basketball is.
Like basketball, baseball, soccer, Division 2 football, Division 3 football.
I hadn't thought of that, but it is the NCAA baseball championship at Omaha, Nebraska. It is the NCAA
College World Series.
Yeah, the College World Series, the NCAA championship, and it's also the NCAA basketball tournament. And it's not the NCAA college football playoff. Not in
D1. D1. Not in what was formerly Division 1 AA, which is the football bowl subdivision now, right?
Larry Leahy says, hey, LSU is the only school with an assistant coach listed as a translator. Go Tigers.
Johnny Houghton checking in, Lisa Poole. But I could see maybe this COVID situation being the catalyst to finally getting those Power 5 conferences to split. One of the big sticking points over the years.
450,000 dead Americans is a small price to pay to have an all-new football arrangement. Yeah. Sadly, there's people that would believe that. Oh, that's all it took? 500,000 dead? Most of them needed it anyway. Let's play football. That's the truth about the SEC. Those people in the South are ready to go. It's never been mentioned once.
All that did was free up somebody's season tickets.
Anybody die in Georgia? I'd like to go to that game. True story. There is nobody in the SEC that ever for a minute suggested, well, maybe we shouldn't play this year. Just put some more hot sauce in the gumbo. Let's get it. See you at Tiger Stadium.
They've been tailgating in Baton Rouge since the football national championship was won.
Go Tigers.
But this could be the catalyst for that. And a lot of changes in college football. There's talk of a potential players union or a trade association at D1 football and basketball. This could be the catalyst for that. It would certainly. Here's the thing: if they break away from the NCAA, I think what you would see happen is college football in its D1 athletics and mostly football and basketball in its amateur status would disappear.
But it's just about over anyway, right? Because we're going to start paying players.
Well, we're not going to start paying players. Players are now going to be able to capitalize on their name, image, and likeness. So they can't be restricted now from making money off their Instagram or YouTube when it's monetized because they got 100,000 followers.
A dumb question. Yeah. And this is not, I'll say it this way. You could be Texas.
There's no such thing as a dumb question.
Well, just
dumb people who ask questions.
But you could be Texas. I'll tell you that second would probably be A&M around here. And then third would be OU in terms of – now, OU has an incredibly rabid fan base and probably a more national fan base than A&M. But A&M has probably more fans because A&M is a bigger school. I'm just throwing that out as a possibility. Let's look at it like this. If you're a kid that is being recruited by Texas, OU, A&M, I promise you, when your position coach shows up, at some point going forward from now on, they're going to mention how many hits their Twitter page gets, how many hits their Instagram gets, how many members and followers there are on their Facebook page. And they're going to
I
say,
don't worry about Facebook anymore.
well, they're going to say, and that could be you, Ash. That could be you. We can help promote you. But here's the deal. How is a school, no slight to their program, their coaches, their facilities, or anything, all of which are inferior, how does a school like TCU, even Baylor with their flash of success the last couple of years, how do those schools even remotely compete for a player who is marketing savvy, for a player who says, I'm going to go to college and make some money off my image? That kid ain't going to SMU ever. If he can go to OU.
Do they start drafting kids out of high school to go play college? Because what's going to happen at that level, it's going to become the de facto minor leagues to the NCAA or to the NFL.
Which it is de facto
Kind of
now. Is there any other sport that's like, well, basketball is kind of like that. No college team has an affiliation up front with an NBA program.
No, they just had affiliation with all the sneaker makers.
There you go.
And all that.
There, that's exactly what I said up front. There's some backside money and some things going on there. But interesting to me how, if Texas says, for example, to a kid like Jordan Whittington, I can bring it right home to you. He's in Cuero. And they may have done this. Hey, pretty soon here, you're going to be able to capitalize on your image. Every jersey we sell with Jordan Whittington on the back, we're going to give you $1. Wow. They might, honestly, he has a blowout year this year, which I think he will. He will have a come out year. Hey, you might sell, honestly, 50,000 jerseys. I'm not joking. 50,000 Whittington jerseys would be easy. Send that kid a bucket jersey. That's mailbox money, baby. Well, I know when I sell the Wade and Carter jerseys, I get 50 cents out of every Wallachow jersey, and we've sold a bunch. But the problem is, to put Wallachow over the back, we just
there goes the profit.
All the profit just goes out in ink.
Peter Rinaldi says paying players is a huge mistake.
Well, that's easy for you to say, Peter. Your eligibility's up. But if you were 18 years old and could run a 4.2, you might want a little cheese for doing that. I'll tell you this. When they try to tell a college athlete at the D1 level that he's getting a free education, they just ain't ever seen a D1 athlete and what that kid goes through every day. That university owns you. Yeah, they let you go sit in their classroom, and they give you books, and they give you a tutor because they need your talent on the field on Saturday. Those kids work way more than 40 hours a week. And when I was in school, they were precluded from doing anything else. Yeah. You weren't allowed to deliver pizzas. You weren't allowed to work in the bookstore for, $20 a week.
Yeah, but why is that? Because along the way, boosters and others,
people acknowledged what was going on the backside. But now
because you paid a kid $50,000 for a summer job washing cars at your car dealer, and he never washed a car and never showed up for work. Exactly. That's why
there were kids that got paid to watch the sprinklers work at the stadium, and it was an AstroTurf field. Yeah. Now that I said that, Peter, I agree with you on a personal level. I really do. I just think that somebody's got to take the other side of that pancake for the discussion.
And I think at that level, it'll become part of the compensation. Your scholarship will now become a taxable income. And
that's when the kids are going to go, whoa, whoa, whoa. They want to be in the real world so much. Start taxing them on that $200,000 education they're getting.
And then what happens with some of the benefits? Well, you're getting meals. You have, I don't know that all the layers have been peeled back at that level for everybody to understand all the ramifications of everything that is all the calls for change on all sides.
I agree.
And I think, and it really, some of that stuff trickles down, but it's really, we're talking about such a small percentage of all the college athletes in the United States. The D1 athlete gets all the focus in this.
Right.
But there is some trickle down. How does that affect the NAIA student athlete who's on books and just enjoying the opportunity to continue playing while getting their education, or the D3 athlete who gets no athletic scholarship and is on academic money only?
You know what part of it is, though, Ash? It's almost like the difference between the Mr. Olympia circuit and the most aesthetic bodybuilding circuit. These guys are all on steroids and juiced up, and it's a whole different animal over here at Mr. Olympia. These other guys are just hardworking guys who are glad to be in the sport and enjoying life. I think you will find
WWE Greco-Roman.
No doubt. And I think you'll find a niche where people appreciate, like a la Bull Durham, a la some of these minor league programs that have great followings. I think you'll find some NAIA schools getting the true fan, the fan of the sport, which is exactly why I'm proud to announce today that Allen's Wrecker Service has agreed to co-sponsor with Wade and Carter the Stones for the University of Houston Victoria curling program. Yes, Allen's Wrecker Service is giving back to UHV through education and through athletics. 578-6300. Every dollar you spend being towed by Allen's Wrecker Service, a percentage of that is being set aside for the Stones of the UHV curling program. You can't curl without Stones, and we're looking for a beer sponsor.
Well, we just need climate change to hurry up so we can get some ice.
578-6300. No, climate change is going the wrong way. It's going the wrong way. I'd take some climate change, right? I'd go out there right now spraying aerosol can for it to be 75 degrees in the morning.
No kidding.
578-6300. That's Allen's Wrecker Service. Reach out to them. The VCS Company's Rocket Oilfield Services and the only locally owned and authorized AT&T retailer, all part of our banner sponsor, the great family that is the Hartmans. Lots of things going well for them. They've been through some challenges lately. Everything's on the upswing right now. Life cycles, and the Hartmans are always there. Same as their security systems, surveillance systems, fire suppression, fire detection. Whether you need a gate like Ash needed out at his place, he's like, man, I need a gate. And immediately he said, I'm going to call J.R. Hartman, see if I can get somebody. They got somebody that can do that. And the guy goes, hey, we do it every day.
Rocket Oilfield Services.
Solar panel came out, hooked it up. Beautiful. SCT Building Systems. Our buddy Clayton Helt, his wife Casey. I learned this weekend, without a doubt, Casey, brains of the outfit. Spent some time with both of them. In fact, it may actually go Casey, Cody, Carter, then Clayton. Yeah, Clayton and I were on the exact same level. Casey, I couldn't keep up with. She was talking way above my head. Super folks, 564-8864. Metal building, barn dominium, they do it all. They'll help you find somebody to do the finish out on the inside. You want bricks and, you want sticks on the inside.
Yeah.
They can do that.
And all the landscaping when it's done.
Chesnick Furniture, Bobby Leon. Bam. Start to finish. Done. Reach out. 116 West One Lynn, corner One Lynn and Bridge. 100 years in business, 70 at that location.
Half off all furniture to celebrate.
They ain't going nowhere.
Nope.
Get down there and see Chesnick Furniture. You need bedding, Tempur-Pedic bedding. Great. I mean, there's 50 recliners sitting in there, and they'll order you anything you want in any color you want in any material you want. That's where home furnishings have gone lately. You walk in, you say, I like this one. Okay. But I want it in brown leather. Okay. See you. Come back in a month.
We'll get it for you.
We'll bring it to you. So you got that going for you. Tell you what I'm going to do. Why don't you, I'm listening. Other stories. Give me 10 seconds to go down to the thermostat.
Oh, you know what?
Oh.
You just about jacked up your microphone.
I did.
Yeah. So, what do you make of the situation in Chicago? Because we've been talking about it off and on for years, at least for as long as we've been doing the show, but the problems in inner city Chicago and the shootings on a daily basis, nightly basis, the numbers every weekend that seem to be atrocious. But now that the problem happened to move outside of inner city Chicago and up to, the Magnificent Mile. I've never been to Chicago.
Well, let me set the
now
setting.
Mayor Lightfoot has an issue.
So you've got Chicago. If you're on the south side of Chicago, watch out for a man named Leroy Brown. But anyway, if you're on the south side of Chicago, you've got Midway Airport. So you fly in on Southwest at Midway, and you can take public transportation downtown, down by the lake. So the lake kind of comes out of Chicago, goes around like that, and if you just go right south out of there, you're in Gary, Indiana in a matter of a half hour.
Yeah.
Well, if you go towards downtown, you'll pass the Museum of Science and this and that, and you pass all these big things. That's where Comiskey Park is out there. As you get downtown, Chicago is no doubt, I mean, with no exception, it's a world city. It's like New York. There's beautiful high-rise buildings. There's the elevated train. There's all the history, nostalgia. There's a vibe in Chicago that is infectious. I love Chicago. No place better. Nothing better than a red hot and an old style at Wrigley Field for an afternoon game. You can almost see Ernie Banks. You can feel it. There's ivy on the walls. It's one of the most beautiful and iconic places on the planet for a baseball fan. The smell, it smells old. It's like getting in that 1970 Blazer and it takes you back. But
there was a smell at Fenway when I went there.
Yes, it's the smell of death. But anyway, you go there, and Chicago, the restaurants are exquisite. Gibson Steakhouse, and it's in an old mansion, and the original Morton's is there. All these things that are just unbelievable, cosmopolitan, world-class city. Well, all this stuff that's been going on in Chicago, the drive-by shooting and all that, it ain't like it's happening down on the square. It's happening out on the south side in the ghetto. I mean, Elvis sang about it. It's a real deal. It's been there for 50 years or more. Old brownstones, old. Well, now that's moved downtown. There's a stretch of Michigan Avenue that they call the Magnificent Mile. And the reason was that's where the Nike store was, that Michael Jordan's Nike store. That's where Oprah lives at the Ritz-Carlton. That's where everything is, the John Hancock building, the Sears Tower. You're in that little area. Well, now that rioting has come downtown.
So basically it's impacted Mayor Lightfoot's shopping.
Yes, and it's impacted the symbols of Chicago as opposed to the part of Chicago we don't talk about.
And those who pay the taxes in Chicago that have allowed the Democrats to rule that city into chaos.
Yes. Joe Mitchell says Chicago is now out of control. Now it's affecting the wealthy. When Oprah can't roll downstairs and go off and chastise people about their whiteness on her way to Starbucks, now there's a problem in Chicago. And who's the mayor blaming, Ash?
There's my beautiful wife, Cheryl, says it happened to her work office yesterday. They were minimally staffed because of it. Well, who are they blaming?
Now they're blaming.
It was the cops. Remember when all the lawless? Well, no, it was guns at first. Let's go back to the beginning.
But
it was
gun
guns.
control there.
Well, so they enacted gun control. Didn't stop the crimes from happening
because the bad guys still had guns.
Yeah, illegally gotten guns. They weren't going in, waiting there 3 days, and buying them before using them in a crime.
And you know what they blamed it on? I heard this the other day. Blame it on that red state, Indiana, that's right next door, where you can just go over there and buy a gun legally. That's what they're blaming it on.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah. No, that's not what's happening.
No.
Cheryl says the parks that she went to in the daytime in Chicago were having shootings at night now.
Yeah, like Grant Park, right down there by the lake. It's beautiful, beautiful.
Is that where the bean is, or whatever they call it? Big
slasher? Yeah. Oh yeah, it's beautiful down there. They just shouldn't stand for that.
So they didn't want the police to get involved, right? I mean, this has been deep on the police. Stand down, don't do it. So now she's hurdled the police because now she wants the police involved on the Magnificent Mile. But the problem has become the prosecutors and the DAs who haven't held the rioters to accountability.
Right. But do you see, Ash, that her name is Mayor Lightfoot? Now, Rush Limbaugh calls her Mayor Lightweight. But I want you to know this, folks. You want to talk about systemic racism. This is a black woman. Mayor Lightfoot is a black woman. The police chief is a black man. When this stuff was happening on the south side, nobody cared. You know why? Because it was just black people shooting black people, and that's what they do. And nobody cared, including the black mayor and the rank and file police. But now that it's moved uptown and might affect tourism or might affect shopping and taxes, you guys got to do something. And she's blaming the police, which ultimately will trickle down to be a blame of Donald Trump in some form. And then it'll be because he mishandled the COVID.
Yeah. And you don't think it has anything to do with the fact that accountability for criminals has just gone by the wayside.
Well, you got to let them out. They could get the COVID in.
They're not rioting. They're practicing. They're just exercising their First Amendment.
Peaceful protest. And did you know, have you seen that the mainstream media basically refuses to acknowledge the violence in the Pacific Northwest? They basically refuse to acknowledge that folks have vandalized and set ablaze public places.
Well, it's interesting. The mayor of Portland, all of a sudden, after 2 weeks of walking with the protesters and getting tear gassed, now he's sick and tired of it. Now he wants the police to actually do something, right?
You do the photo.
Didn't want the federal police there 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago. Didn't want the National Guard coming in. Told them all to get the hell out.
Yes.
Now he wants his police to do their job and disperse and dispel the rioters, because what happened is the mainstream media has called these peaceful protests. There's no rioting, there's no violence, but all you have to do is go to Twitter, Parler, Facebook, different social media platforms, and see what's going on.
Yeah.
And that is why the CNNs and the NBCs and the ABCs, the CBSs, and even somewhat the Fox Newses are absolutely irrelevant, because they're sitting there telling you that Rome isn't burning while they're playing their fiddle, yet you can see Rome is burning.
Right. Well, what you're going to see too is there was a time when a administration-backed show of force might have de-escalated situations and made it possible to disband these folks without violence. Now they've got a foothold. They've got the high ground, if you will. And the show of force is going to have to be literal. It's going to take rolling out the troops to make this go away.
Well, what's interesting, in some places where they actually had to fire tear gas to dispel the crowds, now tear gas is a good thing. 3 weeks ago, it was a bad thing.
I'm at the point, if I'm the mayor of Chicago.
You wouldn't want to be the mayor of Chicago.
Well, but here's what I would do. I would say, look, here's the way this is going to go down. There's a curfew in our parks starting at pick a time, 9 o'clock at night, unless there's a sponsored event, unless there's a concert or something.
Well, you can't have those. There's COVID.
Okay, so let's just go back to the absolute. There's a curfew at 9 o'clock at night. If you don't want to get tased at best, don't be on my park grounds. Grant Park, downtown, I don't want to hear about when my little sister just wanted to swing. I'm tasing little Susie at 9:01. Let them know it. Mean it. Back it up. And people will learn quick. Walk in there with the beanbag gun. Boom, 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 boom. Shoot a bunch of teenagers in the chest. Ow, mama. They're going to go home. Get that business cleaned up. Anarchy benefits no one. What people forget is all these people are in a crazy manner trying to overthrow our government, and vital services are going to suffer. Law enforcement is going to retire. Fire departments aren't going to be dispatched. You're going to have anarchy is not good. And what always happens when anarchy ensues is that a rogue type regime ends up picking up the pieces and taking over.
We've got it.
Yeah.
All these calls to defund the police, and then all of a sudden, oops, we need the police.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's ridiculous. We've turned into a land of lawlessness.
I don't know where I said Susie, little Susie or something. BJ Nelson says, really, Susie? Brent? Oh, that's so racist, so white of you. Well, I can't escape my whiteness, Oprah. I don't know what to do with that.
Well, the interesting thing is,
but if she'd give me a couple $100 million, I'd try to work on it.
I haven't seen all the videos and analyzed them out of Chicago. I would guess it's the same people that have been busted into other cities causing the problems. Antifa.
So here's the deal. If Oprah Winfrey would give me like $25 million to do research, I would do research on what it's like to live as a black person. I would get myself into blackface, move to the Bahamas, and drink Red Stripe until I had $25 million gone, and then I would report back.
You'd be dead.
I'd go out with
a lot of Red Stripe in Jamaica.
On a boat, fishing. Another stripe man. Thank you. Yes.
He fell overboard in a drunken stupor.
Be me. Wait, did you see her husband and wife?
I don't know what she's talking about.
I don't either.
Tell you what I'm talking about, Veracruz for lunch.
It's Tuesday, day before Caldo.
Day before Caldo Day. Warming up to Caldo Wednesday.
The prelude, the foreplay to Caldo Day. Get in there today. Today's a great day. If you're going to eat Caldo tomorrow, today's a great day to have the compuesta. Go in there and say, I want the chalupa shell with the beans and the ground meat. You can do it with chicken fajita or beef fajita.
You probably do with chicken too.
Fresh lettuce. You can always tell when lettuce is on sale. Oh, get a big old, or tomatoes. Like a whole bunch, like 3 pieces of lettuce, a big thing of tomatoes. But then they put the big dollop of guacamole on top, and they'll add peppers. Dawn gets pickled jalapenos, and I get the fresh serranos because I like to cry at lunch.
You do.
So good. You sweat. Who are you kidding? You just break out I'm like Canadian.
I get the nose sweat.
Right? It's just, you're like over there patting. This is the greatest meal ever. Patting your forehead.
Feel the burn.
Veracruz. Still practicing social distance. Doing very well. Oh, she's married to a woman.
You can get it to go. 576-6015 as well.
There you go. Razor IT Solutions. JP Hull. It's almost enough said. It's almost like.
That's all you need.
It's almost like GDP Techs.
If you have a computer, if you have a website, and Facebook you think it can be performing better,
social media presence,
call Razor IT Solutions.
If you need to collect money on the internet, JP does it for big companies, and he just happens to be based here for family reasons. He likes raising his kids here. He lived in Houston. He did the West U thing. He likes living here.
Enough.
Right?
Said enough.
He said, that's it. I'm out of here.
Going to Victoria. And now he's here, and now he's benefiting.
Well, the next thing you know, JP said goodbye. Anyway.
Benefiting your business, benefiting Victoria.
Do it. Razor IT Solutions. White Trash Services. BJ Nelson's a landmark on this show. 550-1826. She and Scott Nelson are building a wonderful business. They found their niche. Started out with a yellow legal pad and 3 trucks.
Yeah.
Now they've got 2. They got more buildings than they had trucks back then. Growing. White trucks, red trucks, White Trash Services, 6 counties, Holiday Beach, Rockport, roll-off dumpsters for your next big project.
Weekly trash collection, a dumpster.
They're partnering with different builders now where they're the official trash-tastic, remover, collector for these builders. Why? Because they know they can count on them. Give them a call, 550-1826. You'll get a body when you call. Ask for the roll-off queen. And then the Atzenhofer dealerships. There's not enough superlatives. I joked yesterday, I saw my daughter Kendall, who works for a dealership in Houston, and she just looked at me perplexed. I said, are you stacking them deep and selling them cheap? Are you selling cars like candy bars?
Oh, she's too young.
Are you just down the road from high prices? I said, what do you got going here? She's like, Dad, are you okay? I know it's hot. Are you okay? I said, hey, if they don't buy it here today, they'll buy it. You'll be here tomorrow. She gets it. That's what Atzenhofer is. Since 1926, Victoria's car dealership has always been Atzenhofer. Others have come and gone. Victoria, Atzenhofer, synonymous.
Atzenhofer.com.
More letters in Atzenhofer than Victoria, for those of you that keep count.
Nice observation.
There you go.
No wonder your daughter looked at you like you were crazy.
Well,
or maybe having heat stroke.
I think I might have. I had two smoothies yesterday. It's not.
That's your problem. You need to eat something.
Well, the second one I put, so it was the second one.
The second one.
Listen.
You call it a smoothie. It was a Dr. Pepper shake from Whataburger with a side of a double meat Whataburger.
You put the fries in and you chew it up and you swish it down. So it was a Dr. Pepper smoothie. No. What you do is, I went to a place called the.
It was a Frosty from Wendy's and dip the fries in.
The 713 Juice Bar is what it was called. And they literally had their own wheatgrass growing in there. They would trim it and put it in your smoothie if you wanted it. I said, that's too green. Sometimes things taste green. Is that fair?
Yeah.
So I said, I wanted a thing they called the Grand Slam. It had bananas.
Oh, you went to Denny's.
It had 3 links of sausage, 3 pieces of bacon, 3 eggs, any way you want them, and a hash brown. I put all that in my tummy, and it's a smoothie. No, I had
the jumping jacks, swirl it around.
When I try to have a point, you got to let me get it out. No, I had bananas, almond butter, honey, oat milk. She said, she goes, you want whole milk? I said, no. I want almond milk. She goes, well, have you ever had oat milk? I said, no. She said, try it.
You can milk an oat?
I didn't know that. So I did. Maybe it was goat milk without the big G.
That's what I'm thinking.
She made me this smoothie, and I said, well, they had options there. So I got 3 shots of vodka and hit the road with confidence. No, really, it was quite a good smoothie. It had a plant-based protein. I don't know if that means they ground up refried beans. I don't know what it meant.
Tofu, maybe?
I don't know, but it was good. It was good. Denny's. I can confirm that IHOP is still open. Tom Ennis, my version of the world's greatest neighbor, did tell me that he had heard that IHOP was closed, and I drove by there yesterday, and there was a lady doing curbside. So maybe they're closed for in-house dining.
I haven't heard anything. I mean, that wouldn't be a local decision. That would be national decision saying we're closing certain one, but I haven't heard that anywhere.
So Miranda Tucci says, hey, off topic. Imagine like there's a topic here.
Yeah, we have topics.
Random thought, which is kind of what drives this show. Miranda's looking for a Yorkie pup.
Adopt, don't shop.
Ash, casting judgment.
Check out Victoria Animal Control. In all seriousness, they have a whole bunch of dogs in there.
Let me tell you what I'll do, Miranda. I'll buy a male Yorkie one place and a female the other, and I'll start breeding them dudes for you. You just got to promise not to neuter them or spay them.
You do that. I'll be Tanya Harding. You'll be Nancy Kerrigan.
Right. I saw a deal one day that said, who was the third person? It was Tanya Harding, Colin Kaepernick, somebody else that said, who took a knee better? Colin Kaepernick, in light of all the garbage that's going on, doesn't look like as bad a guy as I thought he was way back when. Just kind of quietly took a knee. And let me tell you how people change and how people are fickle. Kaepernick took a knee. NFL ratings plummeted, right?
Stephen Kidder, Monica. That was the other one.
Oh, Monica Lewinsky took a knee like a champ. So Colin Kaepernick takes a knee, and the NFL didn't squash him quick enough, and boy, their ratings took a hit. Now, baseball, God's pastime. Every player takes a knee before the game. You turn on. It's funny to me. I turned on. There's a guy from one of the NBA teams decided not to take a knee. He said, "Hey, I'm just a black man." Said, "I'm not taking a knee. I'll kneel before God, but that's it. I think the rest of it is bad symbolism. I'm not against these guys. It's just not the way I believe." It's funny to me that Tim Tebow took a knee to show respect for God and got made fun of, at the very least, chastised by the league more so. Now you've got a black man standing, refusing to take a knee, and he's kind of getting chastised too. It's just a bad place to be a Christian, the United States. Just be very careful, or be very bold. Just don't care. Say, hey, guess what? I'm gonna be me. You be you. I like that.
NHL playoffs for real start today.
Show them.
Just a qualifier.
Show
them. Not today.
You gonna shave anytime soon, or shape it up a little? Maybe still
touch
it.
Did.
Oh, you did.
Like the locks aren't flowing.
No. I'm thinking about the beard.
Oh, I just haven't trimmed up this for a couple of days. That's all.
Couple days. Oh yeah. I forgot. You shaved it all off on Saturday.
No.
Now it's Tuesday.
I wish.
Boris.
Can't grow one that fast. Flames and Stars, Blue Jackets, Lightning, Hurricanes, Bruins, Blackhawks, Golden Knights. It gets real starting today. 16-team quest for the Stanley Cup begins today.
I So just cut to the chase. Who's going to win it all? Just say them. Who?
I think
we record these.
Yeah.
These stay around. Prohibitive favorite. You got to bet like $100. Who's going to win?
Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay. Does Derek Jeter own them as well?
No. I think the Flames can get past Dallas and get the second round. That's about as far as the Flames, I think, are going. Their goaltending's still a little suspect.
It's been that way for 4 years.
I know.
How hard can it be to find a goalie? What are there, like 20 in the league? Go find one. There's got to be.
Well, there's the problem.
There's that
31-team league, and there's only 20 good goalies.
What about that 50-year-old out-of-work goalie that came out of the stands? He was like Paul Blart Mall Cop, and he makes like 8 saves.
Paul Blart was Zamboni driver.
Right? And makes like 8 saves. He's the hero of the game. They gave him the puck. When they threw it to him, he missed it and hit him in the teeth.
Yeah. He got the win.
J-Dub points out that the Rangers did get the number one pick. He says, wowzer.
All signs point to Lafreniere, French guy out of Quebec, obviously.
Here, we thought he was from Paris.
Only averaged over 2 points a game in junior hockey. He's pretty legit.
Pretty good.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Of course, he was 27 years old. BJ Nelson says, who's going to the Michael Cloud fundraiser tonight? Is that the fundraiser that's online, the Zoom meeting that you can sign up and be a part of? If you have any details, BJ, we would certainly pass those along.
Michael Cloud's going to be on the show next week.
Yeah.
So
and that's the Wade and Carter fundraiser. If you'd like to send us $10.
Yeah. So what do you make? Well, let's go to our final break.
Love it when we're just like spontaneous like that. Talking about spontaneous. Don't make your parties that way. Reach out to Cheryl, 920-6803. Let Cheryl take care of the details. Spontaneity at big events when your emotions are involved lead to people like Ash falling and nearly ripping their eyeball out of their socket. Let it be Ash. Don't let it be your spouse with the black eye at the wedding trying to carry the flowers. Call Cheryl, 920-6803. Let Gray Barn Design plan your next event, reunion, wedding.
I'll stay away. Promise.
Yeah. I didn't even roll my R. Quinceañera. So bad.
Canadian influence.
Yeah, you're killing me. Gray Barn Design, 920-6803. A proud dual citizenship company owned by a woman. I mean, how much more politically correct can it be? Uncle Mud's Barbecue, owned by a woman, Katina Arterberry. Her son, Jonathan, providing
master.
Great barbecue. Just great barbecue. Anything you want. You want you got a big church day coming up, you want to take a turkey over there and have them do it? That's not going to happen. But if you call them, they'll do an entire turkey for you. Ribs, chicken, sausage, brisket. They've got it all. All the sides, everything you need. Uncle Mud's Barbecue, the key to them is catering, and remember that they're always giving back. Give back to them. Support those that support you.
They open around 11, drive-throughs
out of your garage. Have a garage sale. Get rid of the stuff you don't need in there, and let Charlie Garcia and his crew come out and put down a new coat on your garage floor. Won't stain, won't absorb odors. If you have pets, put your dog out there. It's a big kennel. You can just rinse it out.
Won't peel, won't crack.
Yeah, your tires won't stick to it.
Slip resistant.
It's the next generation of high quality. I call them rubberized coatings. That's not right. It's more technical than that.
Yeah, way more technical.
They put it down and it lasts forever.
4 times stronger than epoxy. It won't chip or peel, and they can get it done in 1 day.
Yes. And then, of course.
And it's antibacterial and antimicrobial as well.
So you can eat off of it. 578 Home. Reach out to Charlie Garcia. Please tell them Wade and Carter sent you. All of our sponsors. If you just go to Ads and Offer, go, hey, yeah, I was listening to Wade and Carter. They said, come look at a Cadillac. Please do that. You can figure out why later.
Went services.
You need a generator? Yes, you do need a generator.
You've got that shop with a nice new floor. You don't have power in it? Went can get that for you as well.
You got all that roof space going to waste. Put some solar panels up there and store your battery pack in your gym back there, in your barn. Wire that back into your house. When the power goes out or at night, that'll help minimize your electric bill.
They can help you get off the grid.
Absolutely.
Any electrical need, Went Services can
provide.
You
can build you a still out back. Just be off the grid. Play the banjo on the patio. Covered with USA concrete coatings.
So what do you make of the flap yesterday afternoon in Washington, D.C. I mean, it was pretty serious for two people because the last I saw, two were taken to hospital, Secret Service man and the gunman.
So did the gunman actually shoot the Secret Service man?
Well, they didn't say, but that's this report I saw. They didn't reveal that. I think details are coming. I would assume so. Why else? Unless the guy had a heart attack in the middle or, afterwards or something from the stress. I don't know.
BJ Nelson says the party or the get together for Michael Cloud's at the soiree. And when is it? Tomorrow night?
Tonight, I think.
Tonight?
Jimbo Slice says it was RSVP due to COVID crowd control. So they wanted to know who would be there.
Yeah. But hey, fantastic. It's also going to be on Zoom, and Michael's always good. So if you have a chance, participate in that. So I want your take, Ash, on I'm not, I am a conspiracy guy, but I want your take on how this situation. So we have a Secret Service guy injured in the course of duty. We don't know how. Injured in the course of duty, and apparently shot an intended intruder to the point, and don't get me wrong, I think that the Secret Service, when I watch even these movies, they probably overreact. Quick, we've got to get to the bunker. I mean, Donald Trump, it's like 900 yards down all the hallways. You could have a heart attack. I'd want a golf cart. I'll meet you there. Drive off. Tell me what you think. How would this have been reported differently if this had been President Obama?
I think just any other president. Doesn't even have to be Obama. Because think back. Hollywood used to glorify Secret Service people. They made movies about it. The Kevin Costner, Whitney Houston, The Bodyguard.
London has fallen.
Romanticized about how the fact this was a guy that used to protect the president. He could protect me and love story, blah, 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 right? Not anymore. But if this was any other president, that Secret Service man would have been a hero. He would have stopped a potential assassination attempt of the president. Because let's be honest, this occurs outside the White House on Pennsylvania Avenue. What's the intent?
Yeah, the guy's clearly either got a death wish or he's just a loon.
Yeah.
And when they shot him, he took off his mask and it was Joe Biden. I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for those meddling kids.
But that's the reality of it. Now, the left and the media is out there. Oh, this was all. I mean, to the folks, some of these idiots are saying it's staged. Some of them were saying that the president overreacted when they shut down his briefing and locked the media in the media room.
Well, like Michelle Hawkins says, hey, the president did say the other day, some very wealthy people are upset with me and they're after me. You want to talk about throwing a wrench in our system of government? I mean, can you imagine, honestly, either one, if Joe Biden or the president were shot, it would be terrible. Not only it's terrible that a human being got shot. I'm not even saying that. Politically, terrible. Because sadly, Joe Biden might beat Mike Pence. What do you know about Mike Pence, except he's a good guy?
Well, I think if you were able to get to our president and take action like that, that would be a detrimental sign of the world.
Right. I agree.
But it's just amazing how the press just absolutely discounted this as a credible threat incident.
Yeah.
Serious incident.
Is he going to inspect the bunker?
Yeah.
That's what one of the Washington Post pundits said. I guess he's going to inspect the bunker.
Took place at 17th Street and Pennsylvania Avenue near the White House complex. Apparently the guy pointed a gun, threatened the Secret Service agent in a shooter stance, or pointed what appeared to be a gun.
I disagree.
You don't ask questions.
If this would have
Is that a
been
gun?
Obama, it would have been like, was the shooter white? We would know what the shooter, where he lived. He was a quiet man. He seemed troubled, but he did have at one time. There's a photo of him with a rebel flag, and he was in blackface at a party in 1982.
Or in a white hood, we're not sure.
He's clearly
It's
a
Ralph
racist.
Northam.
He's out to get all black people, and Obama is his symbol of hate. But when somebody tries to shoot Trump, it's just an overreaction. That man's just exercising his free speech. Not anymore.
No kidding.
Sleep tight.
But they took him away from the briefing, and the media was, critical of that. Some even accusing it of being a staged incident.
Yeah, I don't like that.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah. Christina Wise adds, he lived in his mom's basement.
Yeah,
People remember him as he used to torture those little turtles that you could buy at Woolworths.
Yeah, here's the latest update. 51-year-old man apparently ran aggressively towards a Secret Service officer, withdrew an object from his clothing, and then crouched in a shooter's stance.
That's a guy that deserves to be shot. You
I
just
agree.
don't joke around in front of the White House.
No.
H.R. Mallory says usually they would start clamoring for gun control. This is why we've got to get guns off the street. I did not have sex with that woman, Monica Lewinsky. I don't know why that comes out.
I don't either, but it's just
Sometimes my voice just kind of goes like that. I sound like Bill Clinton. All right.
the hypocrisy of the media just continues. I don't know why I'm surprised by it anymore.
Hey, Secret Service, can we stop at that McDonald's? Don't let Hill know that I'm having a MAGA fry.
Oh, brother
Folks,
Gary,
we got to get out of
we gotta get out
here.
of here.
Gary,
He's knocking on the door.
Brother Gary, alongside the Hall of Famer Ralph Salazar, being here in a minute.